Hello everyone, my name is Jaya and welcome back to another mini mic'd up series. My name is Jaya, I am a dancer, I'm a dance educator, but I'm also the founder of Jaya, a dancer brand made for everyone. And if you haven't already, go check out my other mini mic'd up series because they are hilarious, they are fun, and they'll give you more of an insight of who I am and why I'm talking so much on this little mini microphone. This story time is one that is very unique. That's all I can say. Anyway, let's just get right on into it. This is a time my two coaches fought over me. Now, fought as in like verbal fighting, but if it went any further, I'm pretty sure my woman coach would have punched my male coach in the face. For sure, if it went any further. So let's get right into the story. As you know, or as you may not know, I'm a professional dancer and I've danced for 26 years. But also, my other extracurricular activity was basketball. I was in AAU basketball. I played 2 grades up. I was very much so a basketball girly. I did both of them all the way up until high school because if you know anything about both sports, high school is when things start getting serious because you're going to have a potential college recruitment, pretty much. This is another story because I have a story about basketball with my dad. We'll talk about that another day. But my dad asked me in high school if I could play 1 year and just see how I felt. I had to choose between dance and basketball. And my dad asked, can you just play 1 year of basketball, do 1 year dance, 1 year basketball, and then you decide what you want to do after that. But can you at least try to do basketball one last time? So I agreed to it. I was like, okay, fine. So my freshman year, I came into school as a dancer, which is funny because all of my middle school years I played basketball. So people in my school didn't know I danced. I would dance in dance school for all those years. They only knew me as a basketball player. So when I came into high school, I auditioned for the dance team and everyone was so confused. I don't know if I told that story yet, but I'll tell that story another time. But everyone was so confused because they're like, you're a basketball player. Why are you auditioning for dance? And not only did I audition for dance, I made it on the varsity games team, which means you dance at varsity basketball games. But I also made it on both varsity competition teams, which means I was in varsity jazz and varsity hip hop competitively. So they were like, whoa, not only do you dance, you dance. As a freshman, like that's really unheard of. The only other person that really did that was my cousin Morgan. And at the time she was a senior and I was a freshman. So I really wanted to be with my cousins because my cousin Erica was also on the team. So I wanted to be with them especially. And that was a ball. Freshman year for me was a ball to be on dancing with them. It was so great. After that year passed, I was like, you know what? I'll try basketball now. So all of the people that know me from high school dance, they're like, basketball? I thought you were a dancer. And I'm like, oh no, like I play basketball too. And the issue is that basketball and dance are in the same season. I had to quit dance in order to play basketball for that year, which I did. And my coach was like, oh, like you'll be back, like basketball sucks, like you are a phenomenal dancer, you should continue to dance. And I'm like, I know, but like I want to just do this one last thing for my dad, just play basketball one more time, see how I feel, and then I'll be back, or maybe I won't, I don't know. And so she's like, okay, you'll be back, like she's certain, she's like, you're gonna be back because our athletics suck. Like in my school, predominantly white school, they care about academics more than they care about athletics. So a lot of our athletic coaches were like our math teachers and our gym teachers and our teachers. Whereas like other schools, like you'll have like actual coaches that come in that their job is just to coach. Yeah, our school wasn't really like that. They're more focused on your academics because if you didn't have an average of like a C or something, you couldn't even play a sport. Dance team at the time was the only team that consistently did well for years, won everything that they were in. She was like, we're the best team in the school, so I don't understand why you're leaving us. And I'm like, it's okay. Introduce my male basketball coach. I'm purposely not saying their names. He's like, okay, I'm getting a dancer coming in here. But he heard from my coach from middle school, like, no, Jay is like a dominant player. Like this is gonna be really, really good. And I try out, not audition, I try out for the basketball team and I made it on varsity as a sophomore. He's like, where have you been? Like, did you just move here? And I'm like, no, I've been here. I was on dance team or whatever. I go through the basketball season. This year particularly, we go to the playoffs, which we haven't went to the playoffs in years. And I'm not going to say it was me. All I'm going to say is, ironically, they went to the playoffs the same time I was on the team. And then after that, they didn't go to the playoffs anymore. You do the math. So anyway, I played the whole season basketball. It was a good time. I had a good time. A lot of my friends, a lot of the guys that I'm obviously cool with a lot of guys. I told you guys about my brother being there in school with me. So I had a lot of guy friends. They used to see me as dance team and they're like, oh my gosh. Like I remember the first time they were like, Jaya got pom-poms. Like that's weird. The ones that knew me for basketball. When I went back to basketball, they came to my basketball games to cheer me on. But anyway, in the beginning of my junior year, I had to decide what I was going to do, and everybody was in my ear. All the guys were like,
stick with basketball, like you're dope, like blah blah, you get scouts for college, blah blah.
And then all my like girlfriends were like,
no, go back to dance team, like we miss you, like blah blah, like we're trying to win the championships, we're trying to go to nationals, like blah blah.
So it was just a big tugging on me of like which one, because I did enjoy both of them. So this is where the coaches come in. I'm at lunch one day eating, obviously minding my business, and I haven't decided just yet of what I was going to do. This was the spring. This was getting ready to go into summertime. I had time to think about what I wanted to do. My favorite teacher of all time, my gym teacher, I actually had since first grade, Tarrant. What's good, Tarrant? He comes up to me super frazzled and he's like, Jaya, I need you to make a decision. And I'm like, why do you care? Like, you're not even involved in all of this. He's like, your coaches are literally in the like teacher's lounge fighting over you. And I'm like, what? He's like, no, Jaya, they're fighting. Like, they're fighting. He had to stand in between them to break them up. That's how much they're fighting. He's like, and I need you to make a decision. And I'm like, I don't know. And he's like, well, you need to figure it out now. And he's like frantic. And I'm just sitting over here like, fighting? Like, what do you mean? And then so like I see them and they're like back and forth arguing. Like, my basketball coach is like,
why don't we can share her? Like, why can't we share her? She can play games for me and she can just do competition for you. Like, she can come to practice for me 3 times a week and she could go to competition practice for you 2 times a week.
He's trying to compromise. But my like woman coach, my female coach is like,
no, she's gonna be tired, we're gonna wear her out, like no, I care about her health, it's either one or the other, she's not doing both.
Like, she was very much so, no, like she cannot do both, which I saw both sides. Like, I would definitely understood him, like, because he was like, she doesn't have to do games. Like, games is lame anyway, and I thought games were lame too. If it was up to me, I would only want to do competition. I would not want to be a little pom-pom cheerleader on the side. No offense. But she was like, no, that's not fair, because also, like, there was a standard that in order for you to be on competition, you had to do games. And she was not willing to break that rule for me, okay? So I understood what he was saying. He was like, you're just being selfish at this point. Like, if you know that you want her this bad, why can't we share? Competitions were only on the weekends and, like, every other weekend. Like, they weren't all the time, but we practiced all the time. And on her side, I could see I would have been tired out because I would have like had to go to basketball practice and then I would have to do these competition practices, which aren't easy. And I don't think I would have been able to really focus on what I was doing if I was doing both of them. Tarrant's like, Jaya, he kind of agreed with my female coach, like, yeah, she should pick one. She shouldn't do both because that's going to be very hectic for her. But he also understood where, like, my male coach was coming from because he's like, yeah, my male coach was pretty much saying, I didn't even have to come to practice. All I had to do was show up at the game and play, which was unfair to my teammates, too. Like, they're practicing all the time. Like, that's not fair that I just come in, start, and I'm just, like, not even at practice and stuff like that. Long story short, I decided dance team, that I was going to go back to dance team because basketball, though, was fun. It just wasn't my passion. Obviously, dance is my passion. So I decided dance. And my basketball coach was so upset with me. He was just like,
you're wasting your talent. You could go to college for this.
And it was crazy was that 1 year that I played, I had college scouts looking for me the following year for junior year because usually like they talk to you senior year for you to get recruited. And my teammates were also mad at me because I took some of the shine away from them because one of my friends, she wanted to go to college for basketball and her mom also still to this day don't talk to me for it. She was like, well, you distracted the college recruits. They were all looking for you, and you shouldn't have played at all because the attention would have been on her, and she would have got whatever she should have got. So I felt bad about that, which is not my fault, but at the same time, it's like I understand. And then when I went back to dance team, my coach made me this never happened before. I was the captain as a junior, but like under the table captain, if that makes sense. I guess that was like my gift of picking dance over basketball. She made me the captain, but also in the rules, captains could only be seniors. So it was like a little bend of the rule for me. For me to be captain, and then I was captain again my senior year. So yeah, that's how I have 4 varsity letters. 3 of them are in dance and 1 of them is in basketball, and how my coaches fought over me, and then how I had to pick, and I ended up picking dance. So yeah, that's my story, and I hope this doesn't come off conceited. This is just really what happened to me. But yeah, I picked dance over basketball. And I have another story about that. We'll talk about that another time. But I hope that you enjoyed this story. I hope this story was entertaining. I'm not sure if this really was. But anyway, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. And I'll see you guys again in another video very, very soon. Okay, bye.